Hi Quilty friends! Well, I'm really excited to share with you about a new product. I've worked in collaboration with Wonderfil thread to curate two Seam Sew Me collections of thread that I use most regularly with my English paper piecing, but also with piecing my quilt blocks also. So the first thing I want to show you is the Bobbinator. So this is my Curated Bobbinator made with Decobob 80 weight poly thread. And it comes in this cute little case, but it serves two purposes. So let me show you how this works and why I love it so much. And as you can see, it will hold 4 bobbins. Now, I use 80 weight poly thread, which this is their Decobob holder. I'm sorry, Decobob thread in the Bobbinator holder, okay? Here's the great thing about it. There's the compartments. So you've got your top compartment up here. The lid pops off and it holds one up here at the top. And there is a slit right here. You see that slit? Your thread pulls out through that slit. And then you put the cap on. So when I have my kit, my English paper piecing kit, which I'll show you in a minute, all 4 colors that I use are with me in my kit. And I don't have strings everywhere in my bag because of having, say, a bunch of different colors. So this is my other curated collection from Wonderfil. It's the Efina 60wt cotton thread. And normally I would carry about this size, maybe 4 or 5 colors in there, but it's really a lot and all of the strings would unravel, they would twist around everything. So I was really excited to be able to curate this special collection for myself as well as you all. Now, again, you can store 3 more colors down here at the bottom. So the lid pops off and you've got 3 more that come out. Now, after you use these, you can wand these with other colors. If you use Wonderfil 80 weight, that's all I use to piece now because it makes my seams really flat. Because if you think about it, this thread is a lot thinner. It's 80 weight, but it's polyester, which is extremely strong. So don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about using thread, but give it a try. Give the poly 2-ply a try here. And it's got the little directions that tell you, exactly how to use it. And I also have the colors in here for you if you're wanting to know what those colors are. So give it a try. It's a game changer for English paper piecing. So I'm going to show you one of my hexie flowers up close so you can see how almost invisible the stitches are when you use 80 weight. And it's really strong. So of course it keeps your English paper piecing pieces really tight and put together. So as you can see, when you're ready to use it, you just pull that thread out and cut it, throw it back in your little EPP kit, your bag, and you don't have thread everywhere all in your bag. Now here's the other great use. You see this here, this hole, both sides? I also can use this as a spool of thread that fits on my sewing machine. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like in a few minutes on using it for that purpose. But before I go to my sewing machine, let me show you my EPP kit. So this is my Seam Sew Me EPP kit. I make big batches of these several times a year and list them on my website, and it has everything you need if you are wanting to learn English paper piecing for the first time. So let me show you up close. You can barely see those threads. Now I used the peach, which I use a lot of kind of coral, earthy orange colors with my fabrics, but I also have the white linen, the dove gray, and the taupe. The top 3 are also very common colors that quilters use. So I picked these 4 just because they really work with most everything. So you can see, you can barely see those stitches. You see that? And on the back, I'll show you on the back, you can see there. I use leave-in stabilizer. I don't use papers so that I don't have to take them out. I'll link link below for you so you can learn how I make those with my AccuQuilt if you're not familiar. But look at that. So this again, 80 weight Wonderfil Decobob thread. Give it a try, and that is what is in here. And you also can put your own thread. If you decide you want to use different kind of thread, you can wind these once they're empty and use those. And so as you can see what's in my kit. I've got my hexy flowers, I've got my reading glasses, my needle minder, there we go, there's my thread, a little thread catcher, and my EPP pieces. So normally what would happen is when I'm on an airplane or in the car, my thread would be all tangled in here because I would have several of these. So this is a game changer. The Decobob is a game changer using that thread in the Bobbinator. So this case is called the Bobbinator. And it comes again with this little branding insert for you to tell you the names of the thread. It's got 135 yards on one of these. So that kind of lets you know how much thread you have to deal with. And then it tells you, of course, on the back how to use it. So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine, and I'm also going to show you how this works to use this as a spool of thread, because oftentimes we will have a lot of bobbins full of different colors of thread that we just don't use very often, but we want to use up the thread when we're piecing. So you can just pop all those bobbins in there, just in the top section here, say this is the one I want to use. You'll just pull it out here through that slit, and you will thread it on your sewing machine like you normally would. So here I am at my sewing machine. This is a Juki TL 2020 PE. A lot of people ask me about my sewing machine when they see it, so I wanted to mention that. And you can see here, what thread do I have on here? I have on the Wonderfil Decobob 80 weight thread. These are colors I use regularly. I keep two on here because one I use to wind my bobbin and the other one I piece with. And so that's what that looks like. So ultimately I would just take this off and unthread it there. You see that just fits right on there like a spool of thread. And then you just take your thread right there, and then you're just going to go ahead and thread it like you normally would on your machine, and you can piece with it if you want to use bobbins. So I have a lot here. I have a bobbin holder with a lot of different bobbins that I use. And sometimes it's like, oh, I should use up this color because it's not going to be visible anywhere, or maybe I do want to use a particular color. That's a great way, is just pop those in there, and you can use this as a thread holder. Okay, so now that we've covered the Decobob, inside the Bobbinator 80 weight poly thread, I also want to share with you my new collection. This is the Artist Palette collection, in which I have curated, you can see here, colors that I really like and use regularly. I've got your neutrals down here for those of you that really want some neutrals. So we've got Parchment, Fog, and Latte, and then some fun bright colors too, the Mango, Pumpkin, and the Ocean Front. Now this is 6 spools in here. There is 164 yards on each spool, and this is 60 weight 2-ply Egyptian cotton. And it's really soft, and I also use this for piecing. So again, using these 2 different weights, which are less than 50 weight, they're thinner, really makes my blocks come together better. I have flatter seams, and they're more accurate because this thread is thinner. So this is my Wonderfil. This is Efina. Thread in here is called Efina, and those are the colors there in that collection. And I think you'll really enjoy giving these a try in your piecing as well as your English paper piecing. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on the Bobbinator and my curated color collection in there, as well as the Efina Artist Palette collection with some of my favorite colors as well. You can find both of these on my website. I'll put the links for you below. And until next time, quilty friends, make lovely things.